Hello everyone, my name is Carlie Hamilton and today I have a scrapbook process video for you guys. This video is for National Scrapbooking Day and I am participating in the YouTube National Scrapbooking Day hop. So this layout is for that and I'm very excited to be sharing this with you guys because this is the first 12 by 12 layout page that I have done in a long time, maybe 6 months or so, maybe even more. So it's good to get back into scrapbooking and I hope that you enjoy this process video as much as I enjoyed making the layout. The theme for this year's YouTube hop is favorite things. So I chose to interpret that in a couple of different ways. Number one is in the photos, and number two is in like the colors that I'm using. So for the colors, my favorite kind of colors to use on a scrapbook page and just in general are the pinks and the bluey greens at the moment, like the teals and aquas and those kind of colors. They're my favorites. So I decided to use those kind of colors on this page, and I also used my favorite like product lines as well, or like people who make these things, because I believe that the papers that I'm using are from like Maggie Holmes and Dear Lizzie old papers, and I've got to say that those two are my favorite designers in the scrapbooking world, so very happy to be using those papers. Now, right now I have these photos from my time in Japan, and this is going to go into my Japan album for when I was living in Japan. It's very much at the start of the album when we arrived. I lived in Japan for a year, to clarify, and so this is when we all arrived in the little town that we were staying. I guess it's a city, in the little city that we were staying in. The city's name was Tsu, and this here was our sort of like arrival dinner, first night there, and our supervisor took us out for Italian and we all had pizza. Now, for those who don't know, I am currently pregnant. This is like 6 years later after these photos have been taken, and I've just found out not long ago that I have gestational diabetes, so it's probably not a good idea for me to be eating pizza. So this layout is a little bit bittersweet in that, I love pizza and I wish I could be eating it right now. So that's another aspect of the favorite things kind of theme for this page. So I did have 3 photos originally. I always like to print out more photos than I end up using, just because I want to get as many photos as possible on the page, but at the same time I am not afraid to cull photos, especially if they don't really add anything. So for this page I have gone for a photo of all of us around the table, and also have a photo of what we ate. Unfortunately the top photo wasn't my photo that I like from my camera, so it's not the best quality photo, but sometimes, you know, even if it's not good quality, it still shows everyone in the photo, and that's enough for me. I did have an extra piece of paper that I had selected to go with this layout, but I really couldn't find a way that I wanted to incorporate it, and I think the pink colours in that piece of paper were just slightly off than from the rest of the layout. And I didn't, if you were watching from the very start, you obviously were, but if you're paying attention from the very start, I did have like a piece of paper, and then I've cut off another piece of paper and stuck that on top. And sometimes I do gut that like original piece of paper, like cut a hole in it so that I can use that paper either on the same layout, use it somewhere else on the layout without wasting it, or save it up for another layout. But I decided I didn't really care for the rest of the piece of paper, and I'd rather not have like excess scraps and get really super overwhelmed. So I decided not to gut that piece of paper and just stuck the second piece of paper straight down. Now I have my basic layout now for this layout, and I've stuck all the paper down. So I've decided that my next step, I want to put down the title. So I'm going through my little box here that has all my alphabet stickers in it, and I'm just selecting out all the alphabets, that a couple of different sizes and a couple of different colors that I thought might go on this layout. I sort of have an idea in my head that I want to incorporate a couple of different fonts and stuff for my title, and I've decided to start off with these puffy stickers. They're like foam. They're from one of the Freckled Fawn kits from last year, 2014. So I have a little look through them, and I can sort of make up the word that I want, which is welcome. So I decided to start laying them down. One thing that I do often, because I'm a bit of a chump, is I just stick the letters straight down, and pretty much every single layout I make, I end up pulling letters off and moving them and centering them, or putting them in a better place on the page. And even though I know I do this, I still somehow just don't bother to use like some baking paper or some tracing paper or anything like that to stick them on first to get like my positioning, because I'm a bit of a chump like that. I just stick them down. I was missing one of the E's as well, so I've made my own little E out of an F, and I've just chopped off a bit from one of the V's because that was a letter that I hadn't really used yet. So I figured I probably wasn't going to use the V's pretty soon, so that was the letter that I decided to chop up. And as you can see now, once I've stuck down that last E, I've decided that I think it would look better if my title was, if my welcome was down a little bit more on the page. Sometimes I end up ripping up a bit of paper. That's what's happened with this O here. I've accidentally ripped up a bit of the underlying paper, and because I'm a bit of a messy scrapper, I just try not to worry about it. I mean, in the ideal world, I wouldn't have done that. But I find that if I worry about stuff like that, I'm never going to ever get a page done, or maybe even ever start a page. So it's just best for me to just not worry about that kind of stuff and just get it down, and that way it gets done. So I'm looking through my stash and decide on a different font for my next word, and I decide to use these clear vellum letters. These ones are also from another Freckled Fawn kit from 2014, and I actually really love that alphabet so much that I think I bought a spare alphabet from it, so that one's really nice. Here I'm looking through some really super old basic grey letter stickers. Those ones are years and years and years old, and I went through them just to see that I could spell out the word that I wanted to, and I could. So I was happy about that. So I went ahead with my plan to just use my foam stickers, and then I'm going to, on the side here, use the basic grey stickers. And I am doing them on the side like this, and I'm only sort of lightly sticking them down so that I can easily pull them back up. I am out of N's. I was going to chop up some M's, M for Mary, but I decided, no, I'll use the Z's. I've got two Z's there, so I used the Z's on their side. Decide that I, like, I'm doing it sort of like higgledy-piggledy there, no real straight lines. I decided I wanted that I up a bit higher. And one thing I didn't like is that I'd put the R slightly on its side, but everything else was super up and down straight. So I pulled the R up and then stuck that down a bit more straight. And that's my title. So now that the title is done, I'm getting rid of all those letter stickers, and I'm going to move on to embellishing. And I do have off camera my little embellishment center where I have like a little box full of a whole heap of products that I can use on my current like projects. That way I don't have to be digging through my whole entire stash. And I've selected this little sticker sheet from there, and I've decided to incorporate some gold. It has some like little gold sparkly chevrons on it, and I've decided to sort of use them as little corner thingies in order to frame the picture. And then I use like a little banner up the top corner there just to sort of even out the page. So I've got like a nice little rectangle of gold embellishments all over the page there. That was actually a really good sticker sheet to go with this page because it just had the right kind of teals and pinks on it. I didn't end up using any pinks from it, but it would have suited really well. This is these are little enamel dots from another Freckle Fawn kit. And again, these colours are just perfect for the page, the pinks and the teals. So I scatter a couple of enamel dots around the page. I like to use my scalpel to pick them off and put them down. I find that just the easiest way to do it. And I like to sort of move my scalpel around the page, trying to find a spot that looks good before I stick it down. Now from my embellishment center is this little box here, and I've got a whole heap of like flat things. It's my flat section, so I've got like little tags and things. So I'm pulling out usually by color, just sorting through it, things that go by color. I'm pulling out like a little circle thing there. I kind of really like the background paper for this one, in that it's like circles. They look like plates, and it just reminds me of like the pizza plate sort of thing. So I like the inclusion of like circles. And I like the inclusion of like a circle in my embellishments to try and sort of break up the boxiness, because my my paper is very square. So what I do is I just go through my box, my embellishment center, pull out things that I think will fit on the page, and then move them around the page. And when I have decided, I like that, I just stick them straight down. Because again, if I find that I delay too long in sticking things down, then maybe they'll never get stuck, or I just change my mind. I'd rather just get them stuck down. This is the section where my beautiful black cat came up and said hi. So hello from Batman's his name. These stickers, I believe, are from a Studio Calico kit from 2014. And I'm almost done with that whole packet, so I could have gone overboard and just stuck them all down on this page, but I've got a couple left now for maybe one more page, and then it's packet's finished and I can do the happy dance. I always love it when a packet gets emptied. Now this is another thing from the Freckled Fawn kit. I've got lots of Freckled Fawn stuff in my embellishment center at the moment. So this is like a little star paperclip, and I liked that it sort of tied in with the rest of the stars that I had on the page. I'm going through my my section of my box that is full of like my dimensional things. So that's where I pull out a couple of buttons, and again I like that they have the circle theme sort of going with them for the plates. So I just scatter a couple of those at the bottom there, just to fill up that little, I guess, corner of space that I have there, so it doesn't look like it's just trapped space. have something in there. And I stuck them down with my Zots. So now I am finally just doing my last little bit, which is to do my journaling. Sorry, I was just grabbing the layout so I could read it to you, because I can't see it on my little screen. But it says, Yonana-san, that's our supervisor's name, took us newbies and established Sioux people out to a pizza place as a welcome to Sioux. And that's all that I wrote. So that is my layout. I hope you have enjoyed watching this process video, and I hope you all have a whole heap of fun this National Scrapbooking Day, or International Scrapbooking Day. If you have liked this video, please don't hesitate to give a thumbs up, and please subscribe for way more scrapbooking videos to come. Do check out everyone else in the YouTube hop. I'll have all their channels in my description box, and I'll see you all again next time. Thanks guys. Bye.